Good evening all and welcome to the Tactical Devils. It's Saturday night. It's a late stream update on the latest transfers. There are some updates from Fabrizio Romano regarding Tonali, and the latest report says that Manchester United appreciate Sandro Tonali and are interested, but United view his price as very expensive. So we will have to see what we can do about that. I've heard rumors about 75 to 80 million plus add-ons or 100 million straight up. So I think there will be some bargaining going on from INEOS's side with Newcastle when it comes to this. There's also other reports. We know this from Di Marzio saying that Manchester United have decided to focus on Sandro Tonali regardless of Edérson. So this is a separate deal we are working on, and Michael Carrick wants a strong midfield. It's still not yet known if it will be 100 million or 75 to 80 million plus bonuses. And this comes from Di Marzio, the Italian outlet, and also Mercado Web, the Italian outlet, saying that Manchester United are close to reaching an agreement with Newcastle for Sandro Tonali. So the Sandro Tonali rumors is getting stronger and stronger. It will be very interesting to see what will go on with that one. Stu and I will break down all the latest. We have been seeing that Manchester United and Atalanta have reached an agreement, an verbal agreement to sign Edérson. It's Matteo Moretto reporting this. So what lies in this verbal agreement? We don't know, but we know we are talking about a price tag about roughly 34.5 million pounds plus add-ons. The reported add-ons is 4.3 million pounds. So not the most expensive transfer signing. Fabrizio Romano also coming out and saying Edérson is prioritizing Manchester United despite receiving calls from other clubs in recent days, and he wants to wait for Man United. So Man United are currently in talks with Atalanta and their agents, but the deal is not 100% done yet, but it is accelerating, and both clubs have to reach an agreement, and United are already agreed with the player. So again, from Matteo Moretto. And we will also talk about none other than Matheus Fernandes, but I think this is a deal that depends on what's going on with tomorrow's last round game week 38 with West Ham. Will they get relegated or will they stay up? I believe if West Ham goes down, Matheus Fernandes will be a priority for Man United. And Matheus Fernandes has also, according to Solly Talk, said that he believes that he will give Man United the priority over other clubs following talks. And the 21-year-old is high on the shortlist with Carrick. So that one will also be one to look closer at. But guys, as usual, Stu and I will do a breakdown. We will talk about it. We are not a news channel. We are just reporting what's out there, and we are discussing the latest. So guys, remember, smash the like, subscribe if this is your first time on the Tactical Devils, and Stu and I will be back after this short intro. So guys, see you in about 5 seconds. Hello, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm Jarvis, and this guy, lovely guy, is Stu Woolley, and we are going to present the latest transfer news and updates for you guys. Before we go to Stu, I just want to say hi to John Connell. We have Bilal in the house coming in and say, please smash the likes, guys, on your way in. We have Neil Driscoll, the legend, coming in early saying, big up, everyone, big up. Good to see you, Neil. We have Niall Bradley coming in and say, good luck, everyone, in the Premier League for tomorrow's Premier League game. everyone. Yes, we are playing against Brighton tomorrow, 3 p.m. UK time, and it will be the last round. It doesn't matter for United if we win or lose, so I expect to see a lot of youngsters get their chance in that game, especially Kukonki. I believe he will be at least 45 minutes for tomorrow's game. That will be interesting. We have Stephanie Griffith, the legend, coming in saying, big up Jarvis, big up Stephanie, good to see you with that love heart. Johnny Kermode is in the house. Spoiler alert is in the house. Who else is here? We have, we have the good old Trevor. Big up Trevor coming in and saying, evening Jarvis, evening Stukini. Stukini, that's the drink that we was talking about the other day. So guys, if I forgot to remember to shout out your name, I'm sorry. Oh, we have Dave. Big up, Dave, coming in. Day 147. Evening, chaps. Evening, Dave. Guys, smash the like. And, you know, if this is your first time on the Tactical Devils, you know what to do. Subscribe. Yes. And now over to my compadre, co-host, and the legend himself, Mr. Stu Woolley. How you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. I'm all right. But a bit of bad news today. Our semi-final was cancelled, which was a bit of a blow because we're all set up for it. So apparently now we're playing it tomorrow. But I'm not overly happy about that at all. As I was, because I don't know,
red wine on a Saturday night.
No. Well, we've been at we've been out all day, and it's one of those things, you know. So I've had a few sherbets, nothing too many, but a few sherbets. So been looking forward to the show. Lot gone on. Big up Devilish Tacticos. There's a lot gone on today. Fuck me, Jesus, it's all happening. I mean, you know, as you posted last night, Jarvis, I mentioned on our last show, maybe United's board are spreading ourselves thin, trying to agree deals, as many deals as we possibly can, and then we'll pull the plug on exactly who we want.
Yes, we talked about casting the wide net, you know, trying to talk to as many as possible. Yeah.
Yes. Am I overly enthused about a certain Edérson? I'm not. I know he's had a good few seasons at Atalanta, but I think he's a better 8 than a 6 personally. Although we can play as a 6, we know we can play deep line, but I think he's a better 8. Yes. And then, you know, big news out this evening that we're trying to agree a deal with Newcastle for Tonali. And I know Tonali was mentioned a few weeks ago. Me and you both like Tonali. We both think he's an excellent footballer. But he doesn't operate, and I think we both agree with this, he doesn't operate as well without Mr. Guimaraes alongside him. Although he did have one stellar game against us when they beat us because he pocketed Bruno. In fact, he ran the show that day. But when I've seen him, you know, post that and after that, he's not been as good without Bruno Guimaraes. That 3 of Guimaraes, Tonali, and Joe Linton is a nicely balanced midfield 3. And they complement each other really, really well. So I'm kind of hoping that if we are considering Tonali, we are considering Mateus Fernandes, and we are considering Edérson, I'm not really 100% sure on that balance for me in particular. I don't think we've got what I call a closer in there. That's a real hard tackler. We got some lovely footballers. Fernandes is a lovely footballer. Edérson is a nice footballer. Tonali is a wonderful footballer, but there's no real closer in there. You need an animal in there, and I think it's proven.
So you're talking about Baleba.
I'm talking about my man. I don't get fixated on many players. I was fixated on Cunha last season, as you well know, because I didn't shut up about him. And I just think we're seeing a better Baleba now. We're seeing a more focused Baleba. He's had a poor season. We know that. But I'll talk about that in a minute. We've had I think we've got a more focused Baleba on our hands. I get the Edérson deal, by the way. I do. It makes perfect sense financially. 34 million quid for a 26-year-old Brazil. And he is a kind of an international. He's played for the
He has
Brazil national
performed
team.
well for at least 3 seasons now. We won the
Yeah,
Europa
very,
League under
very steady.
Gasperini for that
Yeah.
that the lovely Atalanta team. But you know, he's playing. He's been usually playing with Gasperini with the back three, and the Italian league is a little bit slower. So there are some red flags, warning signs again. So I'm not quite sure on Edérson. I haven't seen him enough to make a strong
That's where I've
judgment.
come out. That's
But
where
I feel he could be. It could be it, but
for
maybe
35
not.
mil. For
It's a little
35
bit
mil.
underwhelming. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I think it's hugely underwhelming when we know that Anderson's on the market. We know that Wharton's likely to be on the market. We know that Balaba's on the market. Now, it could well be that we're leaking this and we're feeding this so we can do these deals for Balaba silently. I would imagine if we are interested in him, we're going to be talking to Brighton tomorrow night or tonight. I would imagine it would make perfect sense to be doing that.
And I think that's the key word. We have to be talking to Brighton, because I think we already have agreed a deal with Balaba. Okay, no one has reported that the deal is done and closed, like with Edérson, that we have a verbal agreement with him. But I feel that we have been working with this Balaba deal for so long right now. So it's just about getting it over the line with Brighton, and we know that Brighton is a hard bargain when it comes to this. So again. Are they deluded? Do they still want 80 to 85 million for a young Balaba, or are they reasonable? He have had a poor season this season, and again, you know, he's not worth more, in my estimations, than 50 to 60 million pounds at the max.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, I mean, I'll be interested to see how it transpires. I mean, but I suppose more than anything, whatever's true and whatever's fiction, we are in a situation where we are at least talking to clubs. So we are trying to make strides. And of course, don't forget, none of these players are at the World Cup. So
yeah, that's the good thing. You know, we have the full summer to negotiate, and at least we have pointed out our targets pretty early again. And even when it comes to Mateus Fernandes, we don't know his future yet of tomorrow's game. So if West Ham lose, if they go down, I think that's a deal that that can be done. But again, if they stay up, I think that will be difficult. And on the other hand, we have reports coming out from Graham Bailey tonight saying that we will prioritize Van der Ven if Spurs go down as a centre-back option. So again, you know, we can go in every direction, and a lot of this depends on tomorrow's results.
Well, it will do. I mean, look, we've been. I said last night, a little bit facetiously, by the way, that we've been linked to about 80 midfielders. You know, and that's how it is. That's how it will always be with us. You know, we did a deal for Gomez, that we in from Wolves in January. Gomez is coming in. You know, nobody really knows, and we've always said this on this channel until the. Superb! Thank you, Stephanie. We've always said on this channel, until somebody signs, then we just take it as gossip, because that's where we're at with it in the moment. It's gossip, and that's absolutely fine. And I think the thing about Tonali is he will be Anderson money. He will be Wharton money. You know, he will be that type of player in terms of cost, won't he, Tonali? So if it is we're in for Tonali, then there's our main. I thought Edérson had played once or twice. I thought he'd been. I
don't think he has many caps, but yeah.
I thought he'd been.
If any of you in the chat can just
I thought
how many caps do Edérson have for Brazil?
Well, I appreciate you putting it straight if he hasn't, mate. I thought he'd been picked, so thanks for that, pal. And I would, until it's absolutely, he doesn't like him anyway. If it is to be Tonali, are we spending 80, 90 million on the right player? And that's how it is. So Might be interesting to do your little graph. Get your graph.
We can take it up.
Fernandez.
First of all, I just want to say hi to everybody who's just tuned in. And guys, Stephanie told me that only 33 of you have liked it. Oh, it's 40 now. But guys, we need at least 50 before we go on to into the news. I have a lot of news to share with you guys. It's Matheus Marato, it's Fabrizio, it's Sully Talks, and all of them coming in with reports. And the funny thing is, they are all pointing in one direction. And this is what I feel, now it has the traction that we need. Everybody knows a little bit. It's a jigsaw. So when you put all the pieces together, you finally see a picture of something going on. I just want to say hi to all of the legends. Stratford Ender is in the house. We have Darius, bath time is in the house. Big up, Darius. Good to see you. Who else is in the house? I see a lot of names here. Yeah, we have Postal Boy coming in. Rather Lewis Hall than Tonali from Newcastle. Yeah, that's also a strong link. Lewis Hall. We heard some links. And guys, we have a super chat coming in from Sanshi. Big up, coming in with a big one, yellow one, 200 rupees coming in and saying, I have a feeling that this summer window might be very encouraging. Casemiro replacement will break or make for this for me. Also, do you really think Vitek stays as second goalkeeper? So yeah, you can try first and with your answers too, and see if.
Well, you're right about the Casemiro replacement. The first thing about that, Sanchez, is you're never going to replace 8 to 10 goals. That's one thing. So we are going to lose a chunk of goals because Edérson doesn't score. Tonali scores the odd one or two, doesn't he? But not a huge amount. Baleba doesn't score. Fernandez got a few this season. Has he got 2 or 3 from West Ham? So we're not going to be easily be able to replace Casemiro's goals. What we will be able to replace with Casemiro is a more mobile 6. And a more robust 6, and that's what we need. If you are going to bring in 1-8 or 2-8, you must have a robust 6. And I've always been a fan of playing a single 6, 2 8s, 2 10s, and a 9. That's how I like to play. To me, it gives you a lot of fluidity because the 2 10s can drop into defense, etc. For deep line players. And you can attack quickly. So, Sanchit, you are an absolute legend. And the other part of your question is, I think Vitek will probably go back on loan again. If I was him, I'd go back to Bristol. Was he City or Rovers? Bristol. Anyway, go back to Bristol.
One of the Bristol
and
clubs,
have another stellar season.
Yeah. For me, I don't think Vitek will stay, but if it's between us just ordering Vitek to stay or us spending, let's say, £5 million on second goalkeeper, I would rather just force Vitek to stay on. There will be a lot of cup games, even Champions League games. Maybe if we, let's say, we win the first 4, we probably have the leeway to actually give him a chance in the Champions League, and we have the League Cup, FA Cup. So again, I can't see that staying on at Man United for 1 year is so bad for him. And again, for me, it's all about saving money. It's a cost.
I think you're right.
It's cost saving exercise for us to save as much money and spend that money on. We need a left back, we need a left winger, we need a reserve or backup striker. We need most likely a centre back because all of them are injury prone. Maybe we need a right back. So, in all, maybe we should have signed 10 players this window to get a decent squad to be competitive in all fronts, Champions League, the league, FA Cup, League Cup, and all of this. So again, yeah.
Half a billy would have been the way forward, like I said, didn't I, a few weeks ago. Big O comes in, he says, great question, though. Thank you for that, Sanjeev. Big O comes in and says, we'll replace Casemiro's goals with Sesko. Yeah, I hope we do, but it would have been brilliant if we could have had Casemiro's goals and Sesko popped in with another 8, that would have been ideally. So that's what we're going to be looking for. But, you know, to replace 8 goals from midfield is going to be very difficult outside of Bruno.
Yeah, but I also saw some reports, even Mbumo today, talking about he wasn't happy with the season, and he would like to contribute more next season. And I also think there's more in the bank from both Cunha and Mbumo, and even Ahmad. You know, how many goals have Ahmad even scored under Carrick? You know, he can at least contribute 5 goals, maybe 10 next season. So again, there are players out there who needs to raise their game, and we can't just rely on Casemiro, you know, winning on the Bruno crosses and all of this. So yeah, that's but by the way, Monty, would love to see some analysis on Fernandes. I reckon you're talking about Mateus Fernandes, and by the way, Bruno Fernandes, Premier League player of the season. So again, you know, let's give ourselves a pat on the back, and us United players, and Bruno Fernandes for his incredible performance, 8 goals and 20 passes or assists. I don't know, Stu, what do you prefer, 20 passes or 20 assists?
Passes, because, you know, we all know what's going to happen tomorrow. He needs to get a fucking assist in early doors, because the game's going to be about that, and we don't want that game about that. If the kids are coming on, if we're playing Jimmy Thwaites, for example, we're going to give him a go, or we play Shea Lacey, or we're giving Obi a shot, we're giving one of the Fletcher lads a shot, or we're doing this, or we're doing that. I don't want the game to be about 21 assists or passes. You know, I don't want that game to be about it. So it needs to be done and over with quickly, because the longer the game stays at 0-0, the more Hollywood you're going to see, the more cut open we will be, and Brighton will go ahead and they will I'll probably beat us comfortably if we're looking for this assist. He said so himself. He fucked up last time out.
Yeah.
So you know, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. If I was Carrick, I'd send a bit of a message and I'd drop him. I'd put him on the bench. I'd send a message. This isn't about you and 21 assists. This is about Manchester United. So I wouldn't want to be Shea Lacey.
But clearly, Bruno and the players must know this. You know, it's like a novelty. It's something that maybe they find it amusing, but again, you know, they are at the end of the day professionals, and I don't think they go on training and into games every day thinking about this stuff. Or do you really? I mean, for me, I think it's more like paper talk.
I don't give 2 tosses about
neither do I.
About assists or anything of that nature. I don't. I never have done. You know me, and I don't want it to be about that tomorrow. Because if you're Shea Lacey or Jimmy Thwaites and you've got a shot at playing, you want to put in a performance, a real performance, and you don't want to be in a position where Bruno's going for a Hollywood ball instead of dropping you a nice 2, 3, 4 yard pass where you can go 5 yards into space and lay it off and get involved in the game. You know, I want these kids, if they are going to play jobs, to be involved in the game. The other thing is Brighton are really pushing, really pushing for Europe. And a lot could happen tomorrow. You know, Villa could lose to City, Liverpool could win, which means Villa finish 5th, which if Bournemouth finish 6th, they can get into the Champions League. I don't know whether Brighton can finish 6th if Bournemouth lose. You know, there's a lot of permutations tomorrow. So we've got a duty of care as a club to make sure that Brighton are given every opportunity on an equal and fair basis, Jarvis, to win that game. So, you know, it's not great for us. We've got nothing to play for. We've got nothing to lose. It makes no difference to us.
Nothing.
We've got a duty of care to the Premier League.
Yeah. That's the thing.
That's my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but that's a good take, Stu. And we just gotta show the Premier League and Brighton and their competitors for the European spots the respect that they deserve, and we can't just drop this game. Lot of comments, guys. I'm behind on the chat, guys. Sorry if I don't bring up your your comments. And a lot of questions. I like this question from Thomas Swedinos. Big up, Thomas. Good to see you. He's coming in and say, why aren't anyone else going for Edérson? That's a huge red flag for me. Same with Baleba. Why aren't United getting the one CDM of a top class instead? And maybe you're talking about the Chouameni or someone in that bracket. Personally, I'm a big fan of Sangare, of RC Lens. By the way, they just won the French Cup yesterday. Sangare yet again played a good game, you know, and so there are players out there. And a quick update on Sangare: he's linked to Liverpool now. The Scousers are actually going in for Sangare, and this is not the Sangare of Nottingham Forest. He plays for RC Lens.
Thomas, we raised this actually in the last show. In fact, I raised it a couple of weeks ago as well. Myself, Jarvis, and Mark, we were doing a comparison. I said on that particular show, why is nobody gone in for Edérson? Why are we only going in for Edérson, etc.? So it's a really good point, a really good question, and I quite like it. But you know, Jarvis has talked about hidden gems in football. We don't particularly think Edérson's a hidden gem because we've known about him for 4-5 years. But the
3 years at least, yeah.
3 years at least, yeah. But the Sangare that Jarvis is talking about from Lens, Jarvis likes him. Now, I took, we were going through a variety of different stats, and I'd make a point. There's no way Sangare is better than Vitinha in the French league, you know, but stats apparently don't lie. And me and Jarvis having a giggle about it. But look, whatever level that we deem the French league to be at, he has performed at a higher level than the French league. So, and that's actually quite important to note, that he has performed at a higher level than Vitinha. And everybody, the Devilish Tacticos and anybody who knows football, rates Vitinha very, 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 very highly. And Sangare has gone. It'd be a travesty if we went to Liverpool, but we've never been linked with him. At Manchester United, we don't appear to know about the kid at Manchester United at all. So we'll just have to wait and see. With regards to Baleba, you know, last season everybody wanted Baleba. Last season, everybody, and we tried to do the deal in the summer. I think we got very close to doing a deal in the summer, but we backed out for some reason, whatever that reason.
I don't think. We backed out because of the transfer fee. They were way too high. I think there were some dodgy sources saying that we put in a bid of £55 million or something, and they wanted 80 or 85. So there was a huge spread between what we were willing to pay and what they wanted for Baleba. So, but I think on the player side, there's no problem, and we also saw a reaction with Baleba. Guys, Nuruddin is in the house. Let's bring in Nuruddin, United Real Therapy. Big up, my friend. Big up. How you doing? How you doing?
Big up.
Being in the sunshine, baking.
Oh no, it's been hot, hasn't it? Whew.
Monday's going to be 32 degrees.
I know, it's going to be nuts, isn't it? Absolutely nuts.
Monday's going.
For me, the forecast is rain and rain and rain for the rest of May. So again, it's enjoy it, guys. I will be up here soaking in the rain. Before we go to Nuruddin, I just want to. This is a show about Tonali, and that's the headline. I just wanted to show you the latest news, so we can just look at the topic. So I have too many things up here on my screen. It's not even working. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Where is the Tonali news? Is this one? I'm doing it in blind. Okay, so okay, here we go, guys. This came in from Fabrizio Romano tonight, and saying that Manchester United appreciate Sandro Tonali and are interested, but United view his price as very expensive. So again, this is something that we are talking about, you know, the price tag somewhere in between 75 to 80 million pounds up until 100 million pounds. And also this came out. It's from Di Marzio that Manchester United have decided to focus on Sandro Tonali regardless of Edérson. So again, if we sign Edérson, it doesn't mean that we can't go for Tonali. And Michael Carrick wants him at United, and there's a good chance that the transfer will go through. It's not yet known if it will be okay. So it's 100 million euros, not pounds, as I said, and 75 to 80 million euros plus bonuses. So this is also something that we will know in time, and this comes out from Tutto Mercado web tonight that Manchester United are close to reaching an agreement with Newcastle for Sandro Tonali. So apparently, if you go by this, we are in negotiations for the Italian midfielder. So let's bring in Nuruddin. So what's your take on Sandro Tonali? And as I said, there are several links now. A lot of outlets and sources are talking about this, and that we are in contact. We are negotiating the price tag 75 to 100 million euros, and that the players is maybe willing. So do you see him as the right profile? Do you think he could be a good fit in this Carrick system? Who would he replace? Will he be the 6? Will he be the 8? There's so many questions. So
Yeah,
where do we start?
Good player, but I think I would sign Tonali. He's a good player, and he can never have too many good players. But I would sign him in a 3. I think he's worked best in the Premier League as a 3. I don't think I would sign him as a 2. But somebody who starts games or off the bench, 100%. He's a really, really good player. But I very much doubted that United are going to sign him because the agent fees, apparently his agent is asking for 25 to 30 plus million in.
Yes, you were talking about this the other night, yesterday, actually.
I read an article, I forgot where I read it, but yeah, agent fees. And that's why his agent has been shopping him around like Arsenal in January. Remember, it came from nowhere in January, Arsenal, and it's shopping him around football clubs. And I was trying to explain to people about Mino Raiola. We paid 89 million, I think, for Pogba. But we only paid like Juventus for 50 million. The other 40 million went to
Raiola, didn't it? But they combined it, didn't they?
Yeah,
Juventus said it was an 80 million transfer fee. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so it's astonishing and it's crazy. But I just see it as like, I see with the signing of Edérson, I see that as they're going for cheap wages and they're going for cheap players. They try to get cheap players. That's what INEOS are doing. Like you said, they can get their money out their pocket, and there's an opportunity to sign really top class players to bridge the gap on Man City and Arsenal. And they're not going to do that. We know what, because they're behind me, the vultures. They can wipe out the debt of Manchester United. They can do so many different things to give Manchester United 90 million a year on extra on transfer windows every year. But they don't want to do that. And so they're not going to do that. They're here to cut corners and get some cheap deals. And that's why we signed Edérson. Because altogether, Edérson is going to cost maybe 30-something million. And then
34 mil, isn't he? Yeah.
So I doubted they would go for Tonali, because I think they've been put off by the agent. And actually, I would not get involved with somebody whose agent is asking for 25 to 30 million.
God, no, neither would I.
But just to mention one thing, all these sources that I mentioned, that I showed you guys right now, it was from Di Marzio, Italian source. It was from Fabrizio Romano, Italian source. And it was from Tutto Mercado web. That's a sport outlet in Italy. I think it's a newspaper, and they have like 350,000 followers on X. So again, they're not a small outlet. So again, but my point is, it's Italian sources. There's no one of the British sources mentioning Tonali in this way. So it could be agent talk. The agents trying to push it, to show that Tonali is open, is ready. But where is Man United into all of this?
Jarvis, what's your mate? The one that you did the show with? I trust him.
Yeah. Alfredo Padula, he hasn't mentioned Tonali as far as I know. He's only been on the Edérson case. So Alfredo Padula, he's the guy who was correct on the Xerxes move. He was correct on, I think it was the Amrabat move. He was correct on who did we sign from Italy? On Højlund, and was the fourth one?
Xerxes.
Xerxes.
And Dogu.
And Dogu, yes. So again, Alfredo Padula is one of the most reliable when it comes to Man United, at least. So again, I haven't heard anything from him. So maybe I should just call and check with Mick, and maybe he knows a little bit more about this. But I think Tonali's side of entourage is trying to push for a move. I don't think he wants to stay at Newcastle for one more year, just playing the Premier League. Newcastle are sitting 10th now at the moment, and yeah. So again, it's not the most obvious one, and We Deserve Better also comes in and say Tonali, he will do better in Italy, and he's done for betting at Newcastle and Brighton. Okay. I haven't verified anything of this, but we know he was taken down for betting in AC Milan.
His whole family were at it, weren't they? His uncle, I think his uncle ran the syndicate, didn't he?
Yeah. New arrivers, Spigo Suave. We have Vicky in the building. Big up, Vicky. Did I say it right or did I say it wrong?
Wiki.
I'm tone deaf when it comes to the W and the single U. Yeah.
Gotta be Wiki.
Yeah. Okay. That's for the Tonali news. Let's go to the Edérson news, and this is a big one coming from Moretti, saying that everything is going so slow on my computer right now, that Manchester United and Atalanta have reached a verbal agreement to sign Edérson. And, by the looks of it right now, it feels like we have agreed with both club and player. So maybe we are just waiting to see who else is interested. Maybe this is to put the leverage on the other midfielder signings that we are going for, or maybe the club are just waiting for the transfer window to open 15th of June and it's a done deal. There's also this report coming out that Edérson is prioritizing Manchester United despite receiving calls from other clubs in recent days, and he wants to wait for Man United. And United are currently in talks with Atalanta and his agent. And this is from Fabrizio Romano. And also this report came out that Edérson is just one step away from joining Manchester United, and the transfer fee would be around, as we reported, 34.5 million plus bonuses, and the bonuses is about 4.3 million pounds. So the deal is not 100% done yet, but it's accelerating as both clubs have reached an agreement, and United already have an agreement with the player. So this looks very likely at the moment. So Stu, do you think we should just go for it? All parts are agreeing, the price is set, everything is hunky-dory, and we could get one player signed in and ready to go early for the preseason and all of this?
Yeah. Again, it's a tad underwhelming for me. I can't necessarily get overexcited about it. I think for 35 million quid, if that is a squad player option, that's as good as a squad player as you're going to get, to be honest. But if he's coming in as a number one, and he's going to play alongside Mainu, then we must have a closer at 6. We must go out and you must buy a closer, somebody who takes no prisoners and somebody who just pushes and pushes and pushes you, wins the ball and gets up the pitch quickly. But if you are buying Edérson and you are slotting him in alongside Mainu, you're slotting him in alongside potentially Mateus Fernandes, then you've got 3 very similar players, in my opinion, the way they carry the ball. Mainu's the best out of the 3 of them for doing that and ball shielding and being able to operate in tight spaces. Edérson and Fernandez don't necessarily thrive in those particular things. So is it Edérson, Fernandez are going to be competing for that one space alongside Mainu, and that means that Bruno is being pushed up and out of the midfield and into your front three areas? Or are we looking at Edérson and his flirtation with a deep role midfielder, and we don't want a closer in there, we don't want a punisher, we want somebody who can win a tackle and take us out through travel? Then he can do that. I'm hugely underwhelmed by it. I think it's a cheap signing. I think everybody looks at it as a cheap signing, and I think Nuruddin was right, and I think you've been correct. It is to me not what we need. We need better, unless he's coming in as a squad player. If he's coming in as a squad player, I've got no problems. I really haven't got no issues with that whatsoever. But if he's coming in as a number one, I'm not really enthralled.
Well, Stu, shouldn't we be signing first team players? Like literally the first 11, shouldn't be signing that level of quality player that benches other players that we've got in the team already in the starting 11. Shouldn't be looking for like 5 starting in our starting lineup this season. 5 starters.
Yes, we must have. We must be. Yeah, these players must be coming in and starting, and I don't think Edérson does that. Not at 34 mil for me.
No.
So, well, Vicky's given us a super chat. Vicky, my darling, you didn't have to do that. We're so grateful for that. I think she deserves some music.
Yes, let's play a short jingle for Vicky.
One day, I'm going to get my drumsticks one day and really give it a good thing. Brilliant question. In our opinion, do we think that INEOS are only looking at 1 to 3 players, and they feel that potentially is okay for Mr. Carrick? It could well be.
Are you talking about just midfielders, or
no? She's just talking about 3 in total. It's an interesting question, and it's and for me, there could well be an element of truth in it. That's the problem. And if there is an element of truth in that, and Edérson is number 1, Tonali and Fernandez, what are we doing? Are we waiting until the summer to fix the defence? Is that what we're doing? 3-3-3 over 3 years?
In a way, on paper, you should think that that's a clever plan if you don't have the funds, and you also have to have the patience to wait out players, to end their contract. Now 2027, we have players like Luke Shaw ending his contract. It will be the last year of Harry Maguire. So again, I think we will see an overhaul on the defense coming in next season. Is it a wise approach? Do we need more right now to be a better and more competitive team for the up and coming season with Champions League? I would say at least 20 more games in total, and you play 2 games a week. So again, we need a bigger squad. So they are taking a huge gamble. I think they luckily they succeeded this season. We didn't have many injuries when you look at it, and also we only had 1 game in a week, and also we were knocked out of the cups early, so we lost in the first round of the FA Cup and the League Cup. You were out on the League Cup in August. We lost against I don't know, I can't remember who we lost against, but that was a dreadful. I think that was the low point of the season. Yeah, Grimsby. But I think we are pushing our luck if we are trying to do this strategy once more, especially this season when we're coming up in the Champions League. And I think we need to be more aggressive in the market. I don't think we can just sign 3 midfielders and end it there. Maybe a reserve striker and a left winger. Again, that's maybe 5 signings. We need to also start overhauling the defense. We need a left back. I don't trust Luke Shaw to stay fit for another year. It's against all odds. He played every game in the Premier League this season. I think that would have given you the Powerball chances, 1 in a billion that will happen. And again, we have other players injury prone. De Ligt just had surgery on his back. We have Licha. He's a ticking bomb when it comes to injuries. And we also have players like Harry Maguire not getting any younger. So I think we need at least one centre-back in, even though we have 5 first-teamers, if you count Lenny Yoro and Aiden Heaven. But again, we have 3 of them who is very injury-prone. What's your take on this, Noradin, and the strategy?
Yeah, I mean, I look at it every time I look at it. When I think about the team, I'm like, I personally believe we need 2 centre backs because Maguire, remember, before he got back in the team, he was injury prone. He's only getting older, and the injuries come more. Stuart will tell you the older you get, the tear is there and evident. The Ligt, for me, it is a massive question mark because back surgeries, we don't know how he's going to come back. And Alessandro Martinez. So our 3 most experienced defenders have all had injuries in the last 2 years, last 1.5 years. All of them have had injuries. So I personally believe we've conceded up to now 50 goals. We'll not play tomorrow. We're going to play tomorrow 4 o'clock, and it's going to be crazy, to see what we do. But I definitely want 2 fullbacks, 3 midfielders. How many is that? That is 7 already. Before we even get into the kind of the left-sided winger and maybe second striker, and let Edérson go because they're not even giving him any game anyway. That's what I'm thinking. And so it's 10 signings, but I don't think they're going to get 10 signings. I don't think we're even going to get 5 starting. To me, 5. The most crucial thing is you're going to find 5. Make sure they're all starting lineup. They start games and they bench 5 or 6 players who are on the pitch right now. Well, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've got to.
I would definitely get that. Senesi, is it Senesi? Who plays for
Senesi? Absolutely.
Get him on a free, man.
No, absolutely. We've just got a couple more super chats. Vicky's come in again. She's saying, "Let's look at the evidence," and she's like, in the past, the evidence has stacking up towards, isn't it? No more than 3. You look at the last 4 years, she's right. Looking at that, but I think it might be a bit different this time, Hun, because we're letting 4 or 5, 6, 7 players walk out the door, aren't we? And some big salaried players are walking out the door. And we've already got the money in for Højlund. Casemiro's already gone. Sancho's gone. It's 30 million a year in salary straight away there, isn't there? Crikey, between Casemiro and Sancho. Onana's likely to go. Bindy, we know he's going. There's 5 players already straight out the door. So, but she's right about the evidence. The evidence suggests 3 max, really. And maybe the strategy is this year that it's Edérson type money, but we might make our money stretch. I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting one. But I think you're right, Vic, on that one. We've also got another super chat. This is a new super chat from Ian.
Ian.
Ian. It's Irish for Ian, I believe.
Oh, really? Big up, Ian. Big up.
Well, unless you can correct me if I've got that wrong, Ian, please tell me. But he says, and he's given us €2, so thank you so much. Tonali would add class to the midfield.
On that one, I agree, because I feel that Tonali is some type of player that we don't have in this team. Okay, Kobe Manu stepped up in the second half of the season, but for years I felt that we have lacked someone who can set the tempo, the rhythm of the game, and it's always we have always been rushing in the way we play football. Casemiro is like a one-touch type of player, and he likes to play it forward. Other players that been in our midfield, Ugarte and all of them, no one has the composure needed. Someone who sometimes can just take down the tempo, be press resistive, and just manage the game properly. I don't know if you remember under Ten Hag, we seemed to open every game the first 20 to 25 minutes really well, and then we gassed off. We lost our composure. We start losing the ball, and then pushing the team up high. Ten Hag played the 3-1-6, almost 7 guys in attack at all time. We only had the rest defense of 3, and that was a big problem because we had a big gap in the center of the midfield, and when we lost the ball, people just start running at us. So I always, talking about that we need a midfielder that actually could take down the ball, be press resistive, and set the tempo of the game. And Tonali is that type of player. So again, for me, he would add class. But is he good enough defensively? Do we have the tackling ability? Do we have the interception ability? Is he good enough? Do we stay enough in his position? Do we have the ability to read the game? Or is he, I would say, is he the type of player who needs a strong midfield trio, him and 2 others, like in Newcastle? We all see in Newcastle's midfield, Bruno G, fantastic player, hardworking, always throwing himself into tackles. Do we have that to help Tonali? I can't see Tonali and Mainu playing together, and that will be a balanced midfield. So again, I have question marks. But Stu, you talked about this. We need a destroyer. Tchouaméni, we need Baleba. For me personally, Sangare, someone who's very astute defensively.
You've got to bring in a 6 who is 100% on his tackles and 100% on his possession won. That's what you need, and Baleba does that, by the way. He offers that. And he's played, less minutes than Tonali this season, less minutes than Sangare, less minutes than all of them. But he hasn't had his best season, but he's starting to play a little bit better now. Who knows what would have happened if he'd come to us in the summer? Who knows? We don't know. But Tonali, too similar to look, when you've got Joe Linton, who everybody called a donkey when he was playing up front and he was playing as a 9, he was bought as a striker. He couldn't do fuck all. But how Eddie Howe looked at him and said, "Sorry, mate, get back into the middle of the park. You're a better midfielder." And that 3 complements each other very, very well. Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Tonali. That's the worry. That's the worry for me, because Guimaraes will play all over the place, but a nice tackling, ball winning, not scared. Joe Linton, hard as nails, big, tall, strong, very athletic, can score the odd goal here and there. And you've got Tonali, it's, sweeping in between the 2 of them. And that works very, very well. They don't work in a pendulum effect. They work as very sporadically, really, the way that they play. They're very untidy as a 3, but they're a very effective 3 because they're untidy. Now, we were playing Mainu, and Casemiro was switching. Mainu was playing deep at one point. Casemiro was playing deep, but none of them could really tackle, not put a real cruncher in there when we're being overrun in the middle of the park, which we were done. By more of it, and that's because, by the way, the distance between Bruno, Mainu, and Casemiro was too much at that point. So there's always a gap in between Bruno and Mainu. But we didn't really have a hard tackling player in there. So we need somebody who can come in and start, stamping up Manchester United's authority on the pitch, because we don't do that. We don't stamp our authority. We try and win the game through possession and passive play, not aggressive play. You need to have a bit of both. 2 patterns in a game of football, aggressive and passive. You need a few passive players in there who are your flair players, and they'll get you up the pitch and score goals, etc. But you need 1 or 2 absolute real aggression in there. And everyone's got it. Everyone's got the aggression. Alex Scott is quite aggressive at Bournemouth. Baleba's aggressive at Brighton. Stark, aggressive for Leeds. Gravenbach, aggressive for Liverpool. Declan Rice, aggressive on occasions for Arsenal. There are all these teams have got somebody in there that will put their foot on somebody, not just the ball, but on somebody. And we haven't had that for a long, long time. We must find that.
The decline of Manchester United's midfield, decline of the Manchester United Football Club. Was the least invested area of the football pitch, and the closest we got to, all of them were quite injury prone. Pogba, Matic, and Pereira. And that's the closest we've got to actually playing a 3 there. That's the closest.
I mean, Herrera, we would have Herrera back tomorrow, all of us, wouldn't we?
Player.
You know, because he was brilliant for us. Pogba just didn't deliver. He just failed to deliver. He was great in games, but he disappeared in games. Matic was too old by the time that we got him.
I think Pogba did amazing in the first season.
He was great in the first season, and then he kind of
and then the injuries, and then he just never.
And you know, Matic was just too old. We got Juan Mata too old. We know we got players coming to us that are too old.
Mata just got the Player of the Year in Australia.
I said, yeah. Well, he's been absolutely immense for them, hasn't he? What is he? 39 now? 40? It's got to be.
Well, technically gifted.
Oh, technically, he was absolutely.
We bought him, but we never played number 10. That was his position, not out wide.
Yeah, no, we never played.
The misprofiling of Manchester United is shocking.
Oh, it's been awful.
Yeah,
it's been awful. Yeah.
Guys, the last big topic for tonight has been Matheus Fernandes, and let's just bring up the latest on Matheus Fernandes so we can talk about it. Solly Talks comes in with this one. It's a big one, saying Manchester United believe Matheus Fernandes is giving them priority over other clubs. Following talks with his representatives, he's high on the shortlist with Carrick and the data team rating him highly too. And a deal dependent on West Ham's asking fee plus Premier League situation. And I think, as we mentioned in the beginning, the Premier League situation, we will know tomorrow if West Ham goes down or stays up. But again, you know, I think it will be an expensive deal. People got to realize when it comes to Matheus Fernandes that West Ham paid 38 million for Matheus Fernandes when they bought him 1 year ago from Southampton. And Southampton also have is it called sell-on clause? So they will get part of the money.
I had about 15%, I think I had.
Yes. Like so again, you know, West Ham needs to cover all of that just to break even. So the price tag for Matheus Fernandes, we can just
double 60 something million plus.
I think it's more. I think we are talking about 80 million pounds. So
whoa.
I think he will be expensive. So again, do we have our mind set on Matheus Fernandes? Is he the type we can go for? But you know, they have to cover at least, let's say, 15% out of 80 million. That's 8 plus 4, that's 12 million pounds directly to Southampton. Plus they have to cover the 38 millions. So again, you know, for them to make a little bit of profit, is he the right player for them to sell? So again, this is things that we need to have in mind. And also Solly Talks say believe Matheus Fernandes will give them priority over other clubs following talks with his representatives. But he's high on the shortlist with Carrick and the data team, as we mentioned. But again, this came out tonight, and Romano sent me this. It's quite interesting. It comes from West Ham Central, people who knows the people in at West Ham. So again, saying that Matheus Fernandes is joining Bruno Fernandes. You heard it here first. And this is not the first time we heard a report that Bruno, he wants Matheus Fernandes.
Yeah.
So again, the Portuguese link, it's kind of interesting. So again, is this a deal that could happen? Is 80 million too much? Should we try to haggle 60, 70 plus some add-ons?
Yeah,
how do we get West Ham on board?
I think he's a good player, even though I'm not being really that impressed with him lately, but he's playing for a team that's struggling, isn't it? And it'd be too unfair to judge him on current form because they're all, you know, they've all lost confidence. About a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, West Ham looked like they were going to be safe. They looked like they were going to be safe, but they got dragged down. They've lost confidence. And I can't touch him too highly, but his passing is phenomenal. His switch of play is phenomenal, both sides. His range, that's the biggest thing, his range of passing. I think he makes too many mistakes. He'll have to iron it out. Like, there are a couple of dodgy things he's been getting away with in the box, handballing it and holding people and stuff like that. So he is, but for 21 years old, he's got levels to go. He's got really high ceiling. I don't know what it is. Just out of the two, I just like the way Alex Scott runs around. You know what I mean? I just like the player profile. But I do respect the numbers and the way he plays. You know, the build up, the way he can go forward. You know, you see that 1-2, you know, following up the play, getting the ball out. You saw that chance he missed, but he's got that kind of ability to cut through like a defense like Arsenal and go through one-on-one. So definitely, yeah. I think 65. I think to double it, maybe 65. I'll pay, you know, the most 65. Get him in here, and then see what he does. But I think if we get him and then Edérson, and then we go to get someone like Anderson, that would be phenomenal. I'll take that. That would be phenomenal. And I think they would complement each other in different ways because we've got a ball. We'll have 2 ball players. For me, what I need is we need 2 really players on the ball, like 2 midfielders. They have to be. If we're buying 3, they have to be superb on the ball. And I think if you were to get Fernandes and then Anderson, that would be perfect for me personally. But that's me personally. Or someone like Sangara. I'll take him as well, Fernandes and Sangara, and have a young, energetic midfielders who can get about. And Sangara with his left foot can change the angle, as you know, Stu. They've got a left-footed player in the middle of the park. They change the angle.
It's so important with the left fielder, you know. Then we could probably get Ahmad going, you know. He needs more passes on the right-hand side.
Quick passes.
Quick passes.
But Fernandes can open his body left or right. He hits people. We've seen him Summerfield. He hits Summerfield. Quick passes, to Summerfield one-on-one.
He does. It's why Baleba fits us, Nuruddin, left foot, lovely left foot, and it fits as well. For me, likely to get relegated, 50 million quid tops. I don't care about their 15% sell-on clause. You know, if you could get him for 50 relegation, I think that's absolutely fine. I think 10 on top. I agree with Ramo. 65 mils, way too much money. So I wouldn't go in there. But I like him as a player. I agree with everything you said. But he's got a lot to learn. In terms of his possession. Yeah, and the way that he loses possession, loses his head a little bit. But he's 21 years old. Come on. I mean, crikey. I lose my head now.
But Stu, the thing I was talking about, people mentioning 65 for a relegation player, but we don't know if West Ham stays up. The price that's been out there is about 80 million. But I understand, yes, if they get relegated. But again, you know, let's say the price is 60 million. We will have to pay, or West Ham would have to pay Southampton 9 millions in the sell-on clause. Plus, they have to cover the 38 millions. So 9, that's 47 millions they have to cover to get even. And they want probably some profits on the players. So let's say they want at least 15 to 20 million profit. So I think we are talking about,
I don't think it's worth
65 to 70 at least.
I don't think it's worth 20 million profit for them, really. I'll give them 3 million. It's their own fault. Yeah, it's their own fault. They've negotiated the sell-on clause.
Yeah, okay.
Same with Marseille on Greenwood. You know, Greenwood's wasn't Greenwood the leading English goal scorer? The actual leading English goal scorer globally, I think. 35 or whatever, and how many assists he got. And he goes to, say, Real Madrid, or he goes to Barcelona. You know, we get 50%, whatever fee that is, because, you know, Marseille was stupid enough. How dumb was that, by the way, to agree a 50% sell-on clause? I mean, it's crazy. And we've done, you know, they've done the same. So we can't take their sell-on clause into account. That's something they're just going to have to deal with themselves. And if they want stupid money for him, then, you know, he as a person, as a footballer, has got a decision to make. He might say, I'll pay the sell-on clause, and here's a 9 million quid. I'll pay it. You know, it's been done before, hasn't it? You know, we've seen players buy themselves out of contracts, that type of thing. So he might be able to do that. But the problem is, you've then got whatever it is, you've got agents' fees as well. So, you know, now his agent's fee probably would be quite cheap. You know, maybe 1 or 2 million quid, but it's still 1 or 2 million quid. So, yeah, I would say 50. Really,
but to the reports that came out on the Bruno, the Portuguese link, and all of this, you know, I think it's very. it's up to the structure and how we have signed players in the past. We are not going for players. It's like we are casting with a wide net and search around for all the players we get in negotiations with them, and we find out, do they want to come to Man United? We know this with Cunha. We know this with Mbumo. We know
But
this
they're both
with
fans.
Sesko. Yes, they are fans, and we know now that Bruno Fernandes have set his eyes on Mateus Fernandes to come to Man United. So again, and Edérson, he wants to come. A verbal agreement already. He wants to wait for Man United. So this is maybe the transfer strategy. We are getting in players who want to be there, and it's also in our benefit when it comes to these negotiations, because the players can go on strike. We know that the player power is immense. We saw the Liverpool striker, the Newcastle guy, go on strike for months, before pushing his way to go to Liverpool. And also we've seen it in our own ranks with both Sancho and Rashford. Rashford, he wouldn't go anywhere else. He denied every other bid from other clubs he wanted to go to. He had his mindset on Barcelona. So again, I think it's a wise move. It's a good strategy, and I think, we don't like INEOS, we don't like Mr. Potato Head, we don't like Weetabix, but Nuruddin, can you at least give them a little bit of cred for actually?
It's like me as a fishing, so troller, me going into the sea and then bringing the biggest net and see what I can catch. Is that a strategy? Is that really a focused way? Because you think that you've done the data, you've done the work, it's not just casting the net out, because the player profiles are all different. You know what I mean? They're all totally different, and we're just signing and misprofiling players and then bringing them here. So to me, I understand 100%. Agreeing with a player before you agree with a club, that's what Real Madrid have always done. Stu will tell you.
Yes.
Real Madrid, that's their biggest thing. They always get the player to agree to come. Then they bully the team. They bully the club. So this is not something that Wilcox and Weetabix Wilcox and Potato Barada have invented. But for me, I'm like, it's about the player profile. It's about you can't just cast a net. You have to have specific targets that you have to go for. But I think to get the feeling out, to cast a net, to get the feeling out who's interested, yes, I think that's good. But you have to then hone it down and get the actual players that you need. And for me, the Manchester United should be able to spend 300-400 million a year because we make so much money. But we're in 1.3 billion pound in debt. And whose fault is that? The people behind it.
We should be paying half a bill this summer. That's what we should be playing, but we're not going to do that, that's for sure.
Yeah, but we heard reports yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, that we most likely could get up to 104 million pounds on sales, including the Højlund deal. So at least that will give us some extra leeway. And let's say if we splash 250 on the table from our own ranks, we will at least have 350 when it comes to players. And I think that will get us a long way if we are wise with the money, not splash 120 to 125 millions on a player like Elliot Anderson, although he's a fantastic player. But again, do he want to come to us? Do he want to play for Man United? Is he set on City? And I don't think we are anywhere near a player like Elliot Anderson. So for me, I think just forget about it. I think we are on that second shelf, that second bracket of players. We are not searching on that top shelf of players in the Elliot Anderson bracket.
I don't think anyone goes to City at the minute unless you want to play for Maresca. Whatever players want to do, the chance of City winning the title next year is it. Because Maresca isn't going to come in and miraculously get them working. They've got to replace players. City they have to replace players. If Rodri may or may not go to Real Madrid, but Bernardo Silva's gone, hasn't he? He's done. He's out of there. John Stones is out of there. There are players they've got to replace. Whether Anderson goes to City or not, that's up to them. But we should be going in for Anderson. I said last season we should have gone in for Isak. You have to make the play for those players. You've got no, any club worth its salt goes for those types of players. But I think the biggest thing will be we're likely to see the 115 charges, aren't we, in June? Likely to come out before the World Cup. And
I said that's true. That's why he's done a runner. That's why he's sensitive. Pep Guardiola when he said, "Don't ask me why I'm leaving. Don't ask me. Don't ask me why I'm leaving." They're like, yeah, 115's coming down the line, my friend.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's, you know, at the end of the day, that's it. But United,
by the way, the whole Premier League integrity, whole of it relies on
this. Yeah, the integrity of the whole. You know, City get away with it. Well, it doesn't look. Whether City get away with it or not, it doesn't deter alter the fact that Guardiola is no longer there. It is Enzo Maresca or it's whoever, and that is a big deal. It's a big deal. City are going to have a Ferguson problem, like we've had. You know, replacing Guardiola is going to be absolutely impossible. It really is. I don't care what anyone says. It's going to be impossible. So if he wants to go there, that's up to him. And any player that wants to go to City, that's entirely up to them. That's they can do what they like. But we should be going in for the likes of Anderson. I agree. I heard months ago that Anderson was going to go to City, but I didn't hear months ago that Guardiola was leaving. So, and I think this has changed. Apparently he didn't even tell the players until yesterday morning. So, or when was it? Thursday morning? No, Friday yesterday morning. So we didn't even tell the players that he was leaving. And so, things that will change at City. The assistant coach is leaving as well, isn't he? Linders, he's quitting.
Yeah.
So, I would imagine that a lot of players have had their plans changed somewhat by that decision. So, but we won't know until, time will tell on. It's the same with us. Time's going to tell on who we decide to get in and what we pay for these people. So.
Yeah. Before we go into more transfer news, I have a couple of fresh ones. You mentioned Linders, the assistant of Pep Guardiola, but this came out from Ben Jacobs today that's saying Michael Carrick's coaching team of Steve Holland, Johnny Evans, Jonathan Woodgate, Travis Binion, and Craig Mawson all have signed a new 2-year contract. And again, this is my biggest fear, that Carrick's loyalty to his staff is too high. He don't see that he need a little bit of help, because we're going into Champions League, more games, and probably we need more experience. And I would say out of these 5, Steve Holland is the one with experience. Johnny Evans, he have done, fuck all. And same goes with Jonathan and Woodgate. Middlesbrough and, playing for Real Madrid, 2 games. It doesn't count. Travis Binion is the under-21 coach, and Craig Mawson, who knows what he's been doing. So again, I think we are making a big mistake. But what's your take on this? Nuruddin, you can go first.
It's shocking. I don't rate Steve Holland at all whatsoever. I watched England for 10 years and it was boring shit football. It was the players go on, the attacking players go and sort it out. There was nothing in that other than pragmatic defense. It's almost like they thought the backlash of getting Southgate would be extreme from the fan base. And every game, the fan base would be like, get him out of here. So what did they do, INEOS? They got his number 2 coach. He's the one who's doing the coaching. And I'm just worried about the football we play here. For me, that's the most important thing to me. I think if you play good football, you can reconnect with the fans. And I think players would want to join you if you're playing good football. And things can move in the right direction. But like he said, the guy at City is leaving. Here he is. He's had all the experience with Klopp. He knows how to set a team up offensively. And we could get him to come and help. But we're not going to do that because we think we fucking know better. And we've got Woodgate and come on. I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
As long as things go as planned.
Woodgate, championship level coach, and Johnny Evans. Are we taking the fucking piss? Stuart's got more badges out, I'm imagining, than Johnny Evans.
Yeah, probably have.
Yeah. And Travis Binion did under 21 and Craig Mawson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. All the past 3 months, they've been coming out doing the most PR bullshit in the press. Steve Holland is a tactician. But when he quit England, why was all these big clubs in Europe all coming up to Steve Holland? Where was his line? Where was his cue?
He was in Japan, wasn't he? Japan.
Yeah. And what happened in Japan?
Japan, yeah. I don't know.
He failed. He failed.
I thought it was obvious that was going to happen. When she appointed Carrick, he was always going to be loyal to his coaching staff, so I'm not surprised. We're not going to. We're clearly not going to add to it, so we're just going to have to put up with it. We're just going to live with it. You know, so it's either going to work or it won't. That's all it
but I
do.
feel Stu, if we have had a little bit of ambitions in this club, we know that the Bayern assistant coach, he used to work with Carrick, who now works on the company for Bayern. We also know that, as you said, Pepin Leinders is on the free now. You know, he's not working for Pep. Pep is retiring, so again, could be an option for us. There are more experienced coaches who have the know-how and could help Carrick, because that's what I'm fearing, because we all know that Carrick is inexperienced when it comes to the Premier League and the Champions League. So again, where do Carrick get the balls, you know, the courage to go into this without any help and think he can solve all the puzzles by himself? You know, why is he trying to reinvent the wheel all over again? You know, when you could bring in someone who could put their arm on Carrick's shoulder and help him through it, because we know it's going to get tough. What will happen the moment Man United lose 3 games in a row? We know that all hell will break loose because we are Man United. This is not Middlesbrough. So again, you need someone with clarity, someone with a vision, someone who could tell him and help him through it, because I want Carrick to succeed.
Jarvis has been saying this, by the way, the audience. Jarvis said this exact same thing with Amorim. He said he needs to get a number 2 that is way experienced because he's learning on the job. And what do we have? We have fucking learn on the job FC.
You're doing the same mistake.
Learning on the job again. Learner drivers. Oh, everybody's a learner. Woodgate is at this level. Woodgate is a learner driver. Yeah. The only other one is Steve Holland, but I don't rate Steve Holland. I think he's too pragmatic. I think he's too defensive. I don't rate. Come on now, Johnny Evans. He taking the piss. And Manchester United. Is this where we're at now?
Well, we don't know yet, but my fear is when the tough gets going, it's going to get tough. That's just the saying, you know. That's
which is why we should have gone for Ancelotti or somebody of that stature. That's what we should have done. And Carrick learn off him. You're not going to get a coach in that's going to undermine Carrick because he won't allow it. And therein lies your problem. So we didn't go with an experienced. We went with an inexperienced manager. So we've got inexperienced coaches. That goes hand in hand. Unfortunately, there's a lot that I would have done. You know, I was very, very clear what I would have done, and you know, whether we were going to get him or not is an irrelevance. You go and you do the best thing. We talk about best in class all the time. We haven't got best in class.
No.
Well, us, we don't. We just don't have best in class.
Best. I don't have that Scooby Doo.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to say something, because I see someone like King Carrick, big up, saying, I don't know why everybody's moaning. Look at the difference Carrick and the coaches made after mopping up after Scammering. Yes, but my point is,
they're overachieving.
But I just want to clarify. This is not a criticism of Carrick. It's a criticism of the club and the men in suit, that they don't understand the job that Carrick needs to do. You know, he's going to climb an enormous hill, and he needs guys who have done it before to help him through it. You know, when you halfway there, you know, you're walked up, you're tired, you have blisters, everybody's shouting at you. You're not going to make it. You need someone to help you and push you through it. you know, to succeed at the end. And this is how it works. You know, it's a team sport. It's a team. But okay, maybe Holland, maybe Travis Binion is good enough, maybe. But I think we are taking a huge risk by doing it like this. We should have given him more help. So this is not a criticism of Carrick. It's a criticism of the guys over Carrick, and they need to understand that Carrick sometimes needs help. Although he's been a magician so far, we have been the best team since he came in. We have taken the most points, but that won't last forever. So again, that's just my point. But guys, we are not going to make this a debate on Carrick. We are just going to share the 2 latest updates, and I just want your take on that. We have been linked again to Shea Charles. Shea Charles is on United's radar, and Manchester United scouts have watched the 22-year-old Southamptoner around 20 to 25 million pounds. So again, Stu, you were here when we broke down Shea Charles.
Yeah,
and could he be someone that we could go for as the 3rd cheap option? Let's say if we sign Edérson and Matheus Fernandes.
No,
sorry, Stu, I couldn't help it. And
No,
it's Southampton.
Yeah, I know.
Spygate, spy. We spy on Shea.
No, I don't think we're in for him. I don't think we're in for him. I think maybe he'd be better off going to Bournemouth or somewhere like that. But I don't think we're in for him. I think it's a bit of agent talk, a bit of Southampton talk. You're going to see a lot of. I saw him against Middlesbrough on both occasions. He's a good player. I've seen him a few times this season. I do like him, but ultimately, Southampton players are going to be clambering at the door to leave. Every single one of them is going to want to get out, and you know, no, I think it's a little bit of paper talk. I think he might end up at a Premier League club, but not us. And I think we'll end up paying 30, 40, 50, 60 million quid for him in a couple of years' time. That's how it's going to go with him.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but I do like him, and I think he's okay.
Yeah,
he scored, didn't he, in the playoffs.
But again, you know, it's a jigsaw. How do you put it together? If we sign, let's say, 2 very expensive midfielders, let's say we're not going for Edérson. Let's say we go for Matheus Fernandes, that's 75 million. We go for Tchouaméni, that's 150. So now we have, let's say, the Ugarte money, 20 to 30 million left. So we need one more body just to help out the midfield. So where do we go?
He still doesn't come in.
No, okay. Well, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
The trouble is you can't trust him. I like him. I think he's okay, but you can't trust him. But there's going to be tons and tons of Southampton players wanting out. They won't put up with it. I mean, Southampton are going to have to massively have to compensate their players. Otherwise, they're going to try and get out because they've lost out on bonuses, pay rises, all sorts of stuff with this. And that's before the FA throw the book at them.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see a lot of players from Southampton up. But I don't think we'll touch him at 2025. He's not reliable. We cannot rely on him. He needs 2-3 good seasons in the Premier League for me. Send him to Bournemouth, no problem. Or if we buy him, send him to Bournemouth for 2 seasons.
Well, again,
3 seasons.
I know, Norrin, you haven't seen enough when it comes to Shea Charles. Yeah.
No,
but again, you know, it's either him or
he's okay. He's all right.
Hayden Hackney. Hayden Hackney.
I watch Aaron Hackney. I like the way he's on the ball, but defensively, he's crap. Aaron Hackney loses the ball. When Middlesbrough loses the ball, he's so lapsed in concentration. He can't track. He doesn't scan defensively. He isn't going forward. He's quite good. Taking the ball, spotting the ball, passes.
You on about Hackney?
Defensively, yeah, he's crap defensively. He offers
So
nothing.
he would be the one. Yeah, so he would be the one you would probably go for. But again, I agree with Nuruddin. There's not enough in there for me for him to come to Manchester United.
No, passing is decent. Yeah, passing is very decent. Yeah. Listen, Jeff, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do my last preview of the season.
Okay.
I saw you and I was like, okay, I'll do it at 11:30 because I don't ever want to.
Oh, so you're going live right now? Okay.
I'm gonna go live, yeah. 30 minutes past. But big up to you and Stu. It's been
Big
a hell of a
up.
season. It's been really interesting. The predictions that you guys made before the season and where we ended up. I think Carrick has done fantastic to get the results. I'm just really worried next season. And I think if they don't get the 5 signings, it's not even about Carrick or who the manager is really. It's about the quality signings Manchester United need. And it's going to be very difficult.
We've got our training session before his move.
I mean, it's crazy. The coach joked about that. It's incredible. Someday somebody will make a movie about it. Somebody will make a movie about it. I'm trying to remember who's the last person accused. It was Leeds, wasn't it? Leeds Bielsa.
Yeah.
And before that, it was Jose that accused Arsene Wenger.
Arsene Wenger, but it was Derby, yeah.
He called him a foyer. He called him a foyer.
Yeah. I don't. But you could fly a drone over a training ground anyway. There's nothing anyone can fucking do. So it's fucking stupid.
It's exactly the Senegal. What happened? Senegal and Morocco in the AFCON because the Senegalese they would say, no, you train in a big sporting complex. We train here and you train over there. Senegal are like, what's going on here? Like, we need our own. Like, in terms of sporting competition, the integrity of being able to train and not be watched is essential. But everybody was shocked, to be fair. You know what I mean? And Hull are coming up now. Congratulations to Hull.
No, I'm glad they come up. I'm glad they come up because Middlesbrough shouldn't have been playing in there today.
No, I mean, but how could Middlesbrough players get ready for that game? Because they weren't.
No,
you know what I mean? They weren't here. And actually, truly playing that game, you're like, you don't actually, you know what I mean?
You shouldn't be there. No, 11 minutes of stoppage
time. To be fair, they should have just said to him, like, they should have found them heavily. I just think the players didn't do anything wrong, and I think they get
the players. No, that's what I mean. So
I think he should have been suspended maybe for a season or two. You know what I mean? The manager should have been. He should have been suspended and a fine. But I don't think you should punish the players who've grafted to get themselves into this position.
Well, they did, didn't they? That's the thing, and they probably would have won. They would have gone up. But I'm glad Hull made it through. I mean, they'll come straight back down. Hull will be the worst team in the Premier League for a long, long time.
They have Paddy McNair, the best player on the Van Gaal.
Yeah, he came on.
Remember?
He came on today, didn't he? But they got that Ollie McBurney.
McBurney. They have Brandon Williams, Toby Collier.
I wanted to get your take on
Lundstrom.
Lewis Hall being left out, and Trent Alexander being left out.
I'm not so bothered about Trent, but Lewis Hall.
All playing ability though.
I know, yeah, but Lewis Hall, Harry Maguire, criminal being left out, absolutely fucking criminal. How the fuck has Dan Burn got in there? And I don't buy that it's his versatility because he's not going to play. Dan Burn is not going to play.
Dan Burn.
But he used to come on. Did you hear what Tuchel said, Jarvis? I watched the video today. He says we've got to chase the game, so that means Dan Burn is the new. Get him up front. He's going to play Dan Burn up front in the last 10 minutes. All three he's going to play. He's going to play Dan Burn. What's his name? Who's in Saudi?
It's like Owen. That's it.
The Brentford.
Thanks, Owen.
Matt Tony. And then Kane up front. He's gonna put it in a mixer. Get it in a mixer, lads.
Oh, it's about Lewis Hall should be going all day long.
For me, I even tweet. I was like, I am shocked about Lewis Hall.
If I was Lewis Hall,
I watched him in the Championship for Newcastle. His ball carrying abilities were superb.
He's amazing. I'd be going through my family tree if I was Lewis Hall and seeing which passport I can get and fuck off to another country and play for them. I wouldn't be fucking playing for England. I'd tell him to fucking do one. Unreal. I'm
a bit, I've got, I don't know if you heard my views on Maguire, but I'm not shocked at that one because he did say the last time they joined up, Maguire is down in the pecking order. He did say that. And I think he wants somebody with pace. He wants players with pace. But then to me, the big issue is that you drop Maguire and then Dan Burns got no pace either.
No, exactly. So, and Maguire's the best header of football in the UK. So, anyway. Gibbs White didn't make it either, did he? Criminal again.
Yeah.
Anthony Gordon
makes it. I got a little bit of the show, Jarvis. I apologize. I just wanted to get Stu's 2 pence. But anyway.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Love, Appreciate you.
Big
Smash
up.
the
Thank
like.
you for coming on,
Okay,
Nordin. Afterwards, we will redirect over to your channel.
Yeah,
so,
no
guys,
problem,
just
no
stay tuned, and I will send you over to Nordin. Stu
I'm in
and I will do
trouble.
5 more minutes,
Yeah.
and then we will.
Yeah, I'm in trouble
end the
as it
show.
is because I said it'd be a 40-minute show, so I'm in big trouble now. Anyway, so yeah.
It's a bank holiday at least, so yeah.
It is.
Thank you, Nordin, for
Nordin.
joining us. Thank you, Owen, for the
yes, thank you for that.
super chat. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, magic.
On other news, I just wanted to put this one out. This is one of the fringe ones. It says that the Manchester United are closely monitoring Eduardo Camavinga's situation at Real Madrid, growing uncertainty over his future. So again, the Camavinga rumors comes up again, and the French midfielder is considering his options after frustrating season in Spain, with United now on high alert. You heard it here, high alert, in case he becomes available in the summer. It's Footy Insider. But again, I thought it was worth mentioning, but no, it's just rubbish. It's rubbish.
It's just rubbish, that link.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Anyone else want to throw their hat in the ring to join Man United? Honestly, fuck me. It's getting worse, isn't it?
It's a nothing news in my eyes. But this came out. I want to show this. It's from Simon Jones again. That Manchester United want at least 2 midfielders. So at least 2 midfielders and a forward as well, as a competitive fullback and a goalkeeper. So again, we are in the 5 signings, but I think we are looking at an extra. But I think we are waiting for the Ugarte we have to sell to buy. So I think we are going for 2 midfielders first. We will try to sell Ugarte. If that's possible, we will go for a 3rd midfielder. And also the club is being more aggressive in the market, and I think this is a good thing, because Romano came out with this tonight and saying Manchester United wants Manuel Ugarte to leave. And the message has been delivered to the players' camp. And I think that's good. I think we need to be aggressive on this. Tell him you're not wanted. We don't need you. We don't want you to take up space. Get out. Let's sign another one. So again, I hope this is true. I really hope this is true.
That's good news. If that happens, that's good news. I'm happy with that.
100%.
Then you can go and get Shea Charles.
Yeah, or another Hayden Hackney or whoever. Yeah.
You can go get Shea Charles then, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, for 15 million. 15 million euros, that's noble. No, I don't think we will get a penny more when it comes to Manuel Ugarte.
15 million tops. Yeah.
And the clubs that been interested, it's Juventus. We know Juventus struggles financially.
Yeah.
And also Galatasaray has been the clubs.
I think he'll end up in Turkey, something like that.
But we can hope he have a fantastic World Cup for Uruguay, and you always play well for Uruguay, and there will be suitors out for Ugarte. Gidonius, is that how you say your name? Gidonius. Yes, yeah. I don't think Wharton is the type of profile that fits us. He has good passing, but provides little defensively. I would say when it comes to Wharton, I think actually he fits really well when it comes to playing with Kobe Mainu. But we need a midfield 3, and we need a strong defensive player playing with them, because Wharton can provide the passes, Kobe Mainu can make everything tick, but we need someone to win the ball.
He's too upright for me. Stands too tall. Doesn't crank down like a 6. Too upright for me. It's a bit too stiff. A great player, but just a bit too stiff for me.
And too expensive, I think.
Way too expensive. Yeah, way too expensive.
Yeah.
Rodgers is built. He's just way out.
Yeah. What's going on with Rodgers? We haven't been linked to a number 10 or a left winger lately. So where do we go with it? The latest links I saw was Rafa Leao. AC Milan winger.
I
That's the
saw that again.
only one, but that's just agent talk coming from Italy. I don't think
I
United.
don't think we need a winger. I think we can play with what we got up front.
Do you think
Get that
Dogu and
midfield
Cunha is it?
Yeah, get that midfield right first.
My biggest concern is Bruno, because I don't think I think Bruno's getting older. I think we need to rely on Bruno, and Bruno being fit for a lot of games. So yeah. Yes, guys. I saw that secret sign from Stu. I think it's time to.
Sorry, I'm getting in the net.
I know, Stu. I don't want to put you in trouble, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this show. We are on how many likes are we on right now? Just help me out, guys.
120, I think. We can't go yet because we've got to do the score prediction.
Yes, thank you, Stu. 134 of you watching, 121 likes. So if you haven't smashed a like, do us a favor, smash the like. And another thing, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We do live reactions, we do previews, we do a regular panel show every Monday night, 9 p.m. And we usually do a show Thursday nights around 9 p.m.
Thursday, we're doing Saturday tonight because we don't normally do Saturdays. Yeah, we're doing a stream tonight because of tomorrow's game. Or we always do reviews the same day of the game where possible.
Yes,
really?
30 new subs tonight.
Really?
Thank you, guys. If you just subbed,
thank you so much.
Won't regret it, because we will give you as best of a content as we can. That
is very kind of you. We've had some lovely super chats as well. Vicky, thank you so much for yours. Owen, thank you very much for your two as well. Sanchi as well, absolute legend. Thank you so much for those. I'm glad we didn't butcher your name. Owen, so thanks. Thanks for that. But going back to tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow's game. Guys, get your score predictions in. I want to know what you think. And let's go to Stu. Get your
everybody now, because I'm going to pick a loss. I think we're actually going to lose 2-1. Welbecker scored a winner. No surprise there.
Stu, you are aware this is a Man United channel.
Yes, I know, but no. So I put 2-1. No, so I didn't go 2-0. Notice I went with 2-1 because I think the record will be broken. Because I think, but like I said to you earlier on in the show, I can't have that. I can't have the game being about 21 breaking the record. It's got to be about, if we're playing those kids, we're going to play Shea Lacey, we're going to play Jimmy Swaits or whoever. He's going to bring these. I want them to play in a game that matters.
Apparently, Shea Lacey and Tyler Fletcher are in the matchday squad.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I want them to play. I want them to get some good minutes, but I don't need it to be about Bruno's assist. I really don't. No. I really, honestly, I really don't. If he gets it, honestly. But if you don't get it, so be it. But Shea Lacey, if he comes on, I want him to have a good 40 minutes, Jarvis. 50 minutes, 60 minutes, the same with Fletcher. And I want them to go and enjoy it. We know there's no Casemiro, so Ugarte may play his last game. I think Heaven plays. I just don't think we'll win. I think Brighton do win. And that's nothing against the club. I don't think we've got, once that assist gets done, Jarvis, the game's over. And that's the problem, isn't it, for us? The game's over. We've got something to play for, Bruno's assist. I don't want to be a team where we roll over and allow Brighton to beat us comfortably and Bournemouth miss out on a chance of getting Europe. I don't want us to be in that situation. So I do think we'll lose. I'm sorry to say it's the first loss I've predicted all season.
It is.
Which means that Mark will miss by 1 point. I would have missed by 2. And we won't go into what Jarvis would have missed by quite a lot.
It's true. Yeah. We don't want to talk about my prediction of 55 points, but that was under Amorim and the transfer.
1.85k, that's absolutely superb. Thank you.
Yes. And also I see a lot of people want Chelsea to be in the Conference League, and not get one game a week. So yeah. And King comes in and say, "Smash the likes, people." My prediction when it comes to the game, I like Fabian Hursler. I like how the way he plays football. Brighton is a good team. They always perform when it comes to us, especially their older players. We know that Gross is always having a field day when he plays up against Man United, and Welbeck always scores. So it won't be a clean sheet. I think a draw 2-2 most likely. I think we will play more open, more expansive. We have nothing to lose. We will give the youngsters a chance, and Brighton will go for it. Basically, they have nothing to lose. They will just try to score and win the game.
They've got to try and win, haven't they? They've got to try and win. Brighton.
So they have to go attacking, and we know Hursler likes to play through the midfield almost with the 5-0-5 at times. So again, that will be interesting. I think it will be an open game.
That'd be it. Bruno gets his assists. Brighton wins the game. Garnacho cries. Perfect.
Poor Garnacho.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Cry me a river.
Cry me a river.
Yeah.
Cry me a river and go and fucking swim down it. Go on, fuck off.
So my prediction 2-2, and I think Mbeumo will have a goal again.
2-2 is good.
And I hope the Ahmad gets to end the season on a high.
If you do
because
that,
I think his confidence is gone.
Yeah, then Mark wins. He's on the button at 69. Although he quite clearly just picked that number out of the fucking air.
69, dude.
He could, yeah. Well, unfortunately, he could be there on Monday night, giving it the big one. So, but anyway, the boxing is also on. Usyk is fighting as we speak, round 4.
Ooh. So it's a late nighter for you.
No. I'm in big trouble. It's all right. It's all right. No, well, I know tomorrow we've got our semi-final, so I need to be up at about 7. So we've got because we're playing away, so it's an hour and a half journey.
Kevin Donovan comes in with a late comment saying, "I'm not happy with Edérson. Mateus Fernandes would be great. Signing Sandro Tonali." Okay, I read that wrong. Edérson, you're not happy with Edérson and Mateus Fernandes. It would be great with signing Sandro Tonali. Yeah. Big up, Kevin. Big up. Thank you for leaving a comment. Guys, it's been a great show. 1 hour, 41 minutes. Stu and I, we'd be planned a 30 to 45 minute max stream, but a lot of you turned up, a lot of people watched the show. I reckon it's more than 1,000, maybe 2,000 people watch us live. So thank you, everybody, from the bottom of my heart for contributing, leaving all your comments, the super chat, all the new subscribers. Afterwards, get your score prediction in the non-live section. Please hype the show and like if you haven't. And we will be back tomorrow night, not directly after the game, but I reckon around 9 p.m. and doing our match reaction on the Brighton game.
We might have to be careful tomorrow night with the timing, and I'll tell you why. Because of there's a lot of F1 fans, and the Canadian Grand Prix is on at 9 o'clock.
So maybe we do 8.
We might have to do about 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay. So hit that bell notification, and you will get the notification when we go live. So thank you, everybody, and top contributors for tonight's show, top fans. Number 1. Vicky Witterbird, the lovely, coming in with 550 points. We have Owen, 2nd. We have Sanshit, 3rd. Vissa, King Solbo, Jamie, Wayne, spoiler alert, Phil the Man, big up Phil. We have Big Suave, Stephanie Griffith, Will United, Ramo, Trevor Wade, Mo Hamza, I Am Titanium, Sean United versus everybody. By the way, go subscribe to his channel. King Carrick, we have Gems, we have Nuruddin, Aman, Mark, all of you legends. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the show. And Roshmano, thank you for all the updates. You are a legend. So US Roshmano tells you, Love United, hate the Glazers. The Glazers.
3 more likes, please, and we get to 130 likes. It'd be absolutely brilliant.
If you haven't, please smash the like.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Love you. Take care.
See you on the next, and you will be redirected to Noradin's show. He's doing a show on United Real Therapy. So after the outro, You will find the link on the bottom of the live chat. Press that link and you will be directed over to Nordin's show, and tell him Tactical Devils raid from Jarvis.
Yes.
Have a good night, guys. See you on the show tomorrow. Bye.